Alright, tomorrow's the big day. Gonna meet my fans. Alright, tomorrow's the big day. Gonna meet my fans. Gotta rest up and be ready to do the best meet and greets ever. Surely nothing bad will happen to me before then. Hi, I'm Bryson, and this story revolves around my ears. And if you take a look at the Bryson character sheet, you'll notice that while the young versions of me have ears, the current version doesn't, because I don't listen. But for the purposes of this video, whenever we're talking about my ears, I'm just gonna do that. As I was preparing for VidCon, my ear started to hurt a bit. I had a feeling it was an ear infection, so I took some medication and hoped it would clear up before the con. My family and I flew out, started setting up the booth, and then ate dim sum together. The next day, we finished setting up and began relaxing in the pool to prepare for the busy days ahead. My ear was still feeling funky, but I thought it was no big deal and would heal up with my trusty eardrops. I was happy. I was content. And the universe laughed. I went to bed blissfully ignorant of the horrors that lay ahead. In the middle of the night, I was stabbed awake by a horrible pain that felt like this. Can you stop?
Ready to clean up your kids' room? Your money back.
This. Can you stop? In summary, it hurt. A lot. But I was still in denial. It was just a tiny ear infection. I wrestled with the pain for what felt like an eternity, trying desperately in vain to fall back asleep. Eventually, I just started silently weeping. And then, out of frustration, I punched my mattress, which woke up Brenner, who was sleeping on the top bunk. That's a testament to how much pain I was in, since Brenner sleeps so heavily he could nap through an earthquake. That's not hyperbole. He slept through a real earthquake once. What's wrong, man? My ear hurts. Why didn't you wake anyone up to help you? I didn't want to be a burden. Planning your funeral would be a burden. You're going to the hospital. Brenner woke up my parents and they took me to the ER. The doctor looked in my ear and said,
"Yep, your eardrum's ruptured."
I was shocked. I always assumed that if your eardrum ruptured that you would go deaf in that ear. Like in the movies when a gunshot goes off. But since I could still hear, I just assumed it couldn't be that. And I had no idea what had caused it. Apparently, eardrums can rupture spontaneously, which is awesome sauce. It's also possible that I had an ear infection, which weakened the eardrum and caused it to rupture. And going swimming the day before certainly didn't help anything. Then the doctor let Brenner, Mom, and Dad look in my ear, and they all winced. Brenner said it looked like a gaping hole in my head, like the eardrum was just gone. The doctor gave me medication and told me to set up an appointment with an ear, nose, throat specialist when I went home. Ruptured eardrum? I hope it's not irreplaceable. I was so exhausted and in pain, all I could think about was sleep. I didn't know if I'd be able to do VidCon. We went back to the Airbnb and I slept while my family ran the booth. Everyone was asking them about me. When will Bryson be here?
We don't know. He's feeling sick.
Don't tell them that. They'll think that he's contagious. He's not sick. His eardrum exploded and he's in terrible pain. So we don't know if he's gonna...
I'm never one to disappoint, and fortunately, despite my lack of sleep, my medication was working. They got me on that good stuff. And I had an earplug in to protect my ear from excess noise. And I did the meet and greet, looking totally normal for sure. Luckily, that was my least busy day.
The worst was yet to come.
Nice to meet you. Huh? I love your videos. What? You're so funny. Say what? Sorry, I can't hear you very well. Then that night, some friends and I got to go to Disneyland briefly. And I was in the mindset of, first we'll go on Cars, use the Fast Pass on Incredicoaster, do Single Rider on Guardians, and then gun it to the other park. Got it? Go, go, go! But while I was trying to get us on the ride, we got a little held back because someone wanted to meet Lightning McQueen in the flesh, or in the steel.
Good job!
We got on the ride, and I don't know if it was a malfunction or something, but they just sent us through the ride twice. Brody was in heaven. Okay, the park's closing soon. We gotta get to the Incredicoaster.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a quick peek at the souvenirs.
Then he bought the entirety of the gift shop. Come on! We ran as fast as we could, but it was shut down due to a malfunction. There were people stuck in their seats at the beginning of the ride, imprisoned for all time. No! Let's try to get to the Guardians while there's still time. It's shut down! No! California Adventure is closed! No! But Disneyland is still open. We can still catch Rise of the Resistance. Oh my God! We're closed. No!
Well, I think that was a great trip.
The next day, I had 3 meet and greets coming up, but I decided to do my best to manage the pain and play it by ear. Since I'm an introvert, meet and greets are really hard for me, but also very rewarding. It's always great to meet you guys, so don't ever hesitate to say hi. Then I did a drawing panel with some other creators. Luckily, this time we handed the drawings out to people instead of throwing them as paper airplanes. I'll never forget the first drawing panel I did. I made a funny drawing, then folded it into a paper airplane and threw it into the crowd. And the moment I let go of the plane, I knew I had made a mistake. The crowd went feral. People were jumping, pushing, and grabbing. It was nuts. But we did it for the first drawing, so we were committed to doing it for the rest of them on that panel. I'm never doing that again, I thought. But then the very next VidCon, they told us to do it. Despite my telling everyone to stay calm and stay seated, once we threw the planes, people were jumping out of their seats, moshing at the front, and pushing. I'd throw an airplane, multiple people would get a grip on it, and they would all pull, ripping the drawing to shreds. It was chaos. Like, guys, it's a 60-second drawing of a ham with a top hat. Chill. But luckily, this time the staff just handed the drawings out after the show. So there was no carnage. The casualties are dropping year by year. Most people who meet me survive the encounter. Hi, nice to meet you. Same here. Eeny, meeny, miny, you. Thanks for coming. Bye. That night, they closed down the expo hall so that all the creators could experience all the booths. I got some free stuff, and my friends asked if I wanted to go out to eat, and I said, that sounds great. Then we all went out to eat more dim sum because I'm a dim sum goblin. Pork buns, hot and sour soup, and dumplings hate to see me coming, I'll tell you what. You know that food in Studio Ghibli movies that you always wanted to eat? It was like that, but real. I made quick work of that and got some much needed shut-eye. I was pretty tired, but luckily today I only had to do 4 meet and greets. They call me the meter and greeter extraordinaire. And not to brag, but I did it all with a hole in my head. Because my fans are the coolest and sweetest ever. They deserve a creator who will show up for them. Dried blood on your plushie is just part of the experience, guys. And now y'all know, even if I broke my back, I'd still pull up. Hi, nice to meet you. Let me sign that. Do you want a picture? Yeah. Thank you. Finally, after several hours, I had done it. I went backstage and deflated in a chair. You can say no, but there's one more family that traveled a long way that missed you and really wants to meet you. And they were really sweet and understanding. And then finally, I was done for real this time. And now you know that if you met me at VidCon this year, my ear was busted the whole time. Once VidCon was over, my family and I were exhausted, but we had one more thing planned. And we were gonna do it right this time. Okay, we'll show up early, then we'll run to Nintendo World, ride Mario Kart, then while everyone else is trying to get to Mario Kart, we'll book it to Harry Potter. Go, go, go! Can I take a look at the souvenirs first?
No!
Then we approached the Jurassic Park ride that warned, you will get wet on this ride. So I put an earplug in and bought a poncho to be extra cautious. And my dad called me a wimp, like a supportive father. Don't worry, he later ate those words, along with a bucket's worth of theme park water.
Choose your language and start learning now for free. Download the world's #1 language learning app, Duolingo.
They track every market so you know when to make your move.
No way.
Yes way. Realtor.com tracks local data and spots trends so you know when to make your move.
I knew that.
No, you didn't.
Along with a bucket's worth of theme park water. My body was dry and my hairdo was high. All right, next ride. I did the right thing and protected myself. After all, I didn't want to be irresponsible. Also, I'm used to getting recognized at VidCon, but usually in other public spaces, I fly under the radar. So I was surprised by how many people recognized me at Universal. It was nice to meet people in a different setting. Sorry about the blood. Then we flew home. Fortunately, my ear hadn't been hurting as much, so I stopped taking the pain medication and just stayed on the antibiotic to fight the infection. But now that I was home, I had to actually set up an appointment to see what the recovery process would be like. Would I need surgery, an ear transplant, a head transplant? How long would it take? Who knows? I dialed the number. I was gonna set up the appointment all by myself like a true adult.
What's your insurance?
I don't know.
Who's your primary care provider?
I don't know.
Do you at least have an ID?
I don't know.
Show up in a week and we'll see what we can do.
Crushed it. I showed up, told him what happened, and he had a device that let me look into my ear while he was. And to my surprise, it was healed. I was shocked. 2 weeks earlier, when we were just learning that my eardrum was ruptured, the doctor let my family look and see, and they all said it looked like a bullet went through my head. Like, the eardrum wasn't just damaged, they said it was pretty much gone completely, so I assumed the healing process would take much longer. But the doctor said,
Yeah, you're young and healthy, and the body is an amazing thing. You actually healed yourself without needing us at all. Anyways, that'll be $200.
I went from no eardrum to completely healed in 2 weeks. Are you guys hearing this?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Don't worry, I'll be ear all night. In conclusion, I had a great time at VidCon despite my irritating mishap. But for real, it was great seeing all the animator buddies, meeting all my wonderful fans, and getting my social interaction for the year over and done with. After all that, I think I'll go back to having no ears and not listening again. I've heard enough. Hi guys, did you miss me?
Well, before we get started, I have to let you know, I'm a terrible host. I'm really mean. I've been known to bite.
Oh,
I got in trouble for that too. Nathan and Bryson aren't talking to me.
Yeah.
You're cool with that, right?
Yeah. I think I get.
All right.
I got health insurance.
Thank you for joining me here, Andy. Today we're going to be talking about injuries. If I'm not wrong, you've been hurt before.
That is correct. I have felt pain in my in my days.
Medical marvel. I get injured a lot out of just ignorance.
Yeah.
I was going camping with my brother and my dad. We brought our rescue dog with us, Maple, and like she's like a huge muscular dog. We just wanted to tire her out, so we put her on like a giant 100-foot rope and just threw a frisbee for her. I didn't realize, but I threw the frisbee, looked down, and the rope is wrapped around my foot. And then right as I like let go of the frisbee, I'm like, I should move my foot. But it was just too late. Like she took off so fast, it tightened around my foot instantly, and then it shredded all the skin in a circle around my ankle.
Oh no.
My dad was one of those dads where he just kind of lets things go. He was like, we'll put some athletic wrap on that. And then I just slept out in the wilderness with my shredded foot. For 4 years, I just had like a ring around my ankle.
Oh, so that is deep. That was deep.
It took everything with it, dude.
Like way back in high school, I was just biking around with a buddy. We got up to this top of the hill, and at the bottom there's like a little construction going on. There's like piles of dirt. He like goes down the hill, hits a pile of dirt, ramps off of it, but doesn't get in the air. And he's like, "Come on, Andy, you do it." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to do it." And he's like pressuring me. And he's like, "Come on, it'll be fun." And I'm like, "Fine, I'll do it." I don't know why, but I started to really like lean into going down the hill. Like I was pedaling with the gravity. At the last second, he's like, "Slow down," and I'm like, "What?" And then I hit the pile of dirt, but it was a different parallel pile of dirt that was one, larger, and two, way softer packed. So my bike just sinks into it while I'm going like 30 miles an hour. I fly like 20 feet, like everything's in slow motion. I'm like, what? Oh no, I should have done it. And then I hit the ground and like slide another 5 feet on my face. And then the friction slows me down. That was like the worst injury because you could see it all over my face. Like I looked like Two-Face. I would like, it's like all like, but it didn't hurt. He comes over to me, he's like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, actually, I'm fine. And then I went to school the next couple days and people were like, what happened?
You should see the other guy.
Yeah.
Pile of dirt.
He's fine.
I mean, I'm injury prone, but my brother's got a couple less brain cells than I do. I love him, but he just thinks a whole lot less
Listen to your voice, sing any song. There's an
than I do. I love him, but he just thinks a whole lot less. I was sitting in class, must have been like 4th or 5th grade. The teacher tells me like, Brody, you got to go in the hallway. Your brother's asking for it. And I was like, oh my God, like what's happening? So I step out in the hallway and Brock's holding a tissue over his finger. And he's like, I have to go home. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I have to go home. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, what? This genius had been holding a pair of kitty scissors made to be safe, but they didn't make him rock proof, apparently. He's so bored in class, he's gonna saw a pencil in half lengthwise, holding it in his hand.
Wow.
The scissor slipped and just went like half an inch into his thumb. He had to get 6 stitches.
1, never let him inside of a wood workshop. 2, get this man into an arm wrestling competition. Ta-da. That's incredible strength. That's crazy. I've had a similar hand injury when I was in elementary school. I don't know what I was doing, but for some reason, I like stabbed a pencil into my hand. But I went to the nurse's office and they're like, what happened? And it's like this pencil-shaped hole. And I'm like, a paper cut. Like I was very ashamed and like
it's like a hole.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like paper can't do that. Not that I got hurt with this one, but it was like another time in elementary school. I peed my pants. It wasn't great. Not proud of that.
Right out the gate.
And then like the teacher's like, oh, okay, go to the nurse's office. The nurse calls my dad. My dad brings over some new pants. He's like trying to be thoughtful, like, Andy, do you want to go home for the day? And I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, I do. So I go home and I like watch cartoons for the rest of the day. And my 1.5 brain cells conjures an idea. If I pee my pants more,
oh my God,
I can go home whenever I want. I found the loophole. So the next day, I deliberately just pee my pants. Like story time happens. I'm like, I've been holding
it.
Oh my
God.
I'm gonna do it. And then I go to the nurse's office again. My dad brings another pair of pants, and I'm like, we're going home. He's like, no, you go back to class. So I learned, and thank God, because
who knows how many more incidents would have occurred. It was gym class, right? And they're doing that testing that they do, the provincial or state requirements, right? Me and one of my buddies, he runs around the football field. He gets a really good time. He passes the test. For some reason, even though I am like the worst runner in the world, I was like, I'm gonna beat him. I run harder and faster than I ever have in my whole life. And I beat him by like 3 seconds. So I look at him and then I just throw up everywhere. Like I just look at him and I go,
comedically timed to throw up while disgusting is hilarious. That is very funny. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of physical altercations when I was a kid. 2 sisters, we just kind of were passive aggressive.
Which childhood would you rather have?
That's a great question.
Do you want emotional or physical damage?
I preferred 0 damage, but I guess that's not an option.
When you're a kid, you have like a rivalry, right? But then as you get older, you're like, okay, actually, I can be friends with this person because they're literally me.
That's where my sisters and I are now.
They're still like trapping you in a box.
That was a long time ago. I can't remember how old I was. But
that was last year.
That was a year. Actually, that was an hour ago.
I'm in the box filming right now.
Please help me. This one was like when I was a kid, but we went to Mall of America and there was like some roller coaster in Mall of America. I can't remember which one it was, but like I was really pushing the line when it comes to how tall you're allowed to be. They let us on and I'm like, well, this is crazy. Like this is going way too fast to be safe at all. I'm not having a good time. It takes this like pinpoint turn and I smack my head on the side of the cart. And then as it's like turning the corner, they have those like the camera things that show like take a picture of you.
Oh my God.
And so it's like, oh, bam. And like, and I'm so upset at this point. And my dad's like, isn't that funny? Like how comedic. And I'm seething. I'm like, Father, how could you like abandon me in my time of need? Which now looking back, it is hilarious. And he was totally, I quickly told this story in like a video once, but I don't even remember what video. I've never seen my videos. I have no idea which one this is from. It was at one of those like quick setup carnivals, and like I've learned to never go on those rides ever
because they just plopped them off the truck and they're like rattly and loose.
Yeah, and you have like questionable like employees as well. And my sister and my cousin went on one. It was just like a ring. You get in, you're locked in, and then it just goes and goes in circles. And it went for like 10 minutes. The guy was just like laughing and like he wouldn't stop the ride. And
oh my god. We were like out of town for like a hockey tournament or something, and we were staying in this hotel. We were hanging out in the pool. My sister's like, "You just want to like race to the end there?" My competitive nature that I had in the football field came back to me, and I was like, for absolutely no reason at all, I have to try my absolute hardest to win. Halfway through the race, like I'm booking it, but my sister's older than me. I was like, well, how do I like slow her down? So I start like pushing her under the water, and I was like on her back, and then she was like gasping for air. She was like, blah, blah, and I was like, wow, I'm winning. And then like I get to the end, she's completely out of breath, and she's like, why did you do that? And I was like, I won.
My house was under construction, and a friend was over for a sleepover. We were hanging out. There was like this half wall next to the staircase, and there's like this shard of metal. I don't know why. There's a shard of metal in this wall. It should only be nails. He drags his arm across his forearm, and it gashes him like about an inch. And it's totally open. Missed all veins, so he's not bleeding, but you could like see down.
Oh my god.
This is gross. A little content warning. You could like look in and see the fat cells of like his body.
Oh god, I hate that.
I'm freaking out. I'm like,
oh my god,
because I've never seen gore in such like raw detail. I'm screaming. I'm like, oh, Dad, we gotta go to the hospital. He's gonna die. And then he's fine. He's like, oh, yeah, it stings, but I'm okay. And I'm like, no, we do go to the hospital. He gets stitched up. It's totally fine.
Thank you so much for joining me. This has been a blast. You're quite a swell guy. And
Well, Bob, the weather is beautiful out here as we wait to see the main event. That's right, Sean. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining, and we're ready to see some awesome skateboarding tricks. Let's move over to our first competitor. Ooh, let's see if he can recover.
Look at this guy. What do you think when you see him? Uncool, somewhat unsightly, blue shirt. It's tragic. This was me when I was younger. Not me now, but when I was younger. And when I was younger, I became very influenced by the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video games. They were awesome. The tricks, the characters, the Neversoft logo intro. Gross. I thought skateboarding was so cool. Yeah! So I thought, if I became a skateboarder, then I would be cool. I mean, what could go wrong? Just get a skateboard, sign up for some classes, then I'm cool. It's easy. Oh, and plus my parents were willing to do anything to get me out of the house, so they agreed. On the first day of class, the instructor gathered all the kids around to set expectations. And he talked about the simplest trick that we would be starting with, which was the ollie. He explained how to do the ollie and how to approach the trick. And then he said to not expect to get it right away because it took him a year to get it down. A year? I want to learn how to do the cool video game thing, not put an actual effort into a craft or skill over a long period of time. I have respect for people who put effort into their craft, but it takes me forever to learn things. It took me 3 semesters of taking Algebra 1 to finally not fail it. So learning how to do an ollie is gonna take like so I think this is gonna take too long. I don't want to learn the jump move. I'm not gonna spend my time learning the jump move. I'm gonna go learn by myself. What's wrong with a little initiative, right? So I get up on a quarter pipe and I set up to drop in. I got the wind knocked out of me and then quit skateboarding. It may not be a noble thing to quit at the very first sign of effort or pain, but I think about it, and if I did continue to skateboard, I most certainly would have come out with way more brain damage than I already do, so probably for the best. Hey, buddy, what do you think about dodgeball? Well, I think that this video is sponsored by NordVPN. NordVPN is a virtual private network that keeps you safe online. There's many things these days, like the internet. The internet is full of people wanting to know what you're doing without your consent. What you doing? Go away. Ooh. God. But with NordVPN, you can block those pesky trackers. Guys, stop! In addition to this, you can protect yourself from malicious ads or nasty malware. But not from me. I'm immune. Nuh-uh. Protecting yourself online is all well and good, but what about your other devices? Well, NordVPN's got you covered there, because then you can put on... What? Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get NordVPN's 2-year plan plus 4 additional months for free. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks NordVPN for sponsoring this video. I love dodgeball because mostly it's just easy fun that anybody can enjoy. Like that guy over there. You don't have to be good at all to play and have a good time. And I am certainly not good, except for one time I was... untouchable. It was during a college dodgeball tournament. My friends and I signed up for fun, but unfortunately, the first team that we were paired up with was really good. They were like the best dodgeball players I have ever seen. They had team organization and were really strong to boot. They were throwing balls like cannons, and we hardly stood a chance. So the games were best of 5, and we had already lost 2 games at this point. And on the 3rd game, I ended up being the last man standing. If we lost this, we were done. So it becomes clear at this point that this isn't for fun anymore. I need to win. And also, survive. When they saw I was the last man standing, they signaled to each other some kind of play. Like they had formations? I didn't know you could do that. What is he doing? 2 of them started winding up, and one of them was going down the center. I know exactly what was happening. It was some kind of cage maneuver. Avoiding the 2 balls on either side of me will draw me towards the center, which lines me up to be hit. Not on my watch. I dodged their attack. Now if I can return the offense and keep dodging, I can pick them off one... They caught the ball, and I was out. Was I only untouchable in that moment? Not for other parts of the game. Yes. Will I ever pull that off again? No. Was it awesome? Yeah. You would think because I was able to do that I'm like locked into the Matrix and could dodge all incoming ball-shaped threats. I wish. This one time in high school gym class, we were all outside playing some soccer. The other team had a pretty big power player, big for his age and ready to rumble. Our team had me, smaller, aerodynamic, wiggly. I was feeling pretty competitive and I didn't want to let the ball pass me. So I was committed to being the best defense on our team. And I was doing a great job. I was constantly returning the soccer ball to the other side of the field. At one point, I see their power player tee up the ball. I felt like getting in the way of this one's gonna be dangerous. He's a big guy with big legs. But I wanted to win. I had competitive brain. So I get in the way. It was a really meaty kick. I feel dizzy. I couldn't hear things for a second. I gotta sit down. You are sitting down. Abraham Lincoln. The power player felt really bad about it and apologized. I told him he didn't need to apologize. But by golly, did I think I was going to the other side for a second there. I sat on the sidelines for a bit as the game kept going. And eventually, I am feeling better and get back into the game. I am so sorry. Please, there is no need to apologize. These things happen all of the time, Mr. Lincoln. I decided that I'm not going to play anymore, and the teacher was fine with that. So I don't know why I was able to dodge balls like a Grandmaster dodgeball player, but I couldn't survive a soccer game. Maybe it was a fluke. Who knows? All I know is if you sit inside on your computer all day, you cannot get hit by ball. Uh-oh. Thanks for watching. Go long. Farther. Farther. Yeah, keep going.